Starting in October, the official Gundam YouTube channel, Gundam.info, will begin uploading episodes of Gundam 00 to celebrate the show's 10th anniversary. This is just 1 month after they had started uploading full episodes of Gundam Wing, so I thought it would be a fun exercise to compare the first 3 episodes of each show, as well as explore one of the more common forms of casual media analysis, the equivalence fallacy. Minor spoilers, by the way, but since I'm only covering the opening episodes of each series, there shouldn't be anything monumental given away. Now, I am fudging the phrase equivalence fallacy a little bit, because equivalence is sometimes used as a shorthand description, like how Destiny is Halo with space magic, or how Lion King is Hamlet in the Savannah. This is fine, and a few of these shorthand descriptions can even become genre labels like Metroidvania, but more often equivalence is used as a derisive criticism of a piece of work. For example, the complaint most commonly thrown at The Force Awakens is that it's just a shot-for-shot remake of A New Hope. However, this kind of criticism is lazy at best because it conflates similarity with low quality, and also ignores story beats that set the work apart. Gundam is especially well suited for this kind of discussion because many of its shows intentionally try to mirror previous series. For example, the original Mobile Suit Gundam is mirrored by Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, Gundam Seed, and the first arc of Gundam Age, just to name a few. Likewise, Gundam 00 is an attempt at telling the kind of story told by Gundam Wing, but this time in widescreen and HD. Of course, on the surface, both shows tell the same story. Gundam Wing is about 5 Gundam pilots who are a part of Operation Meteor, and they take on a series of missions against the Earth Alliance and Oz in order to stop their military operations against the colonies. Gundam 00 is about 4 Gundam Meisters who are a part of Celestial Being, and they take a series of missions against various Earth governments in order to stop their military operations against other Earth governments. Of course, the flippant descriptions of both shows ignores important thematic differences. Gundam Wing is a show about how advances in military technology radically alter not only the shape of the battlefield, but also how soldiers relate to war. Wing is also a more character-driven story, and the show spends a lot of time showing how each character relates to one another. In contrast, Gundam 00 is more interested in the political philosophy of war and the effects of military interventions on political landscapes. It's a much more plot-driven show, and the Gundam Meisters rarely interact with characters outside of Celestial Being. 00 also uses a lot of religious iconography, which is completely absent from the first 3 episodes of Wing. The differences between the two shows is most clearly demonstrated in how each handles audience surrogates in their opening episodes. In Gundam Wing, the audience surrogate is mainly handled in one of 2 ways. Zax covers the perspective of the Alliance military in Oz, while Relina is Wing's primary filter by which we interact with the Gundam pilots, and in particular Hiro Yui. From Zax's point of view, the audience comes to know that the Alliance military is petty and distrustful of the independence enjoyed by the Oz Specials, and through him we also learn that the Gundams are kind of a military technology that far outstrips anything that the Earth Alliance or Oz has ever developed, and that neither the Alliance military or Oz's specials can do anything to stop the Gundams from blowing up mobile suit factories or spaceports. On the other hand, Relina spends most of her time trying to figure out Hiro's secret, and as a result find ourselves in the middle of Operation Meteor's missions against Oz. Through her, we get the impression that the Earth Alliance uses misinformation and propaganda to mislead the public, and come to understand that the Gundam pilots are willing to go to any lengths to ensure the success and secrecy of their mission, even if that means killing civilians. Gundam 00 doesn't have the same kind of focus, and instead the show opts to split its perspective across different organizations. The closest to a traditional audience surrogate comes in the pair of Luis and Saji, but so little time is spent with them during the opening episodes that their inclusion feels more like a proxy for the public perception of Celestial Being at large, rather than a character perspective the audience can latch onto. Similarly, the Union, AEU, and HRL serve as stand-ins for the perspective of the governments of the United States, Europe, and China, respectively. And of course, members of Celestial Being comment on the nature and philosophy of their missions with each other, with the most common opinion expressed that Celestial Being is intentionally drawing the hate of the world governments as a necessary sacrifice towards ending all war. Many of these scenes are also interweaved with one another, which creates a sense that these are different groups having a political debate, even though they're rarely in the same room together. Another major departure between the two shows is rooted in how the opening episodes establish how the team of Gundam pilots relate to each other. 00 has the Gundam Meisters of Celestial Being behave like a cohesive unit, carrying out missions all over the world with a high level of professional competence and coordination. The Meisters aren't exactly friends, but they do behave like amicable co-workers. On the other hand, the Gundam pilots of Operation Meteor almost kill each other on sight when they first meet. Duo shoots Hiro Yui in the arm and the leg in order to stop him from murdering Relina, and Showa tries to fight Catch-Our Gundam a Gundam after the latter helps wipe out a Leo factory in the Mediterranean. These are not a professional and well-organized fighting force, but highly independent operatives that have a hard time trusting people with the same goals and motivations. Of course, these differences only matter in a metatextual sense. Taken independently, it doesn't matter how similar these stories are to each other. Both these shows stand alone and have coherent sets of themes, characterizations, and plot points. It's only when these stories are analyzed together that their similarities and differences gain meaning. For example, if you go beyond the first 3 episodes, Gundam Wing advocates for a radical form of pacifism as central to humanity's freedom and survival, while Gundam 00 is much more comfortable romanticizing the divine punishment of celestial being in order to pave a future for humanity. Taken together, these shows talk to each other by sharing a central narrative structure. Regardless, Wing and 00 are both nearly 50 episodes apiece and are beloved stories within the Gundam franchise. If you want to check out either of these series or other Gundam titles, you can watch them online on Hulu and Crunchyroll, and some titles are even available on YouTube on a rotating basis. So what do you think? Am I reaching too far to find differences between 2 shows that tell the same story? Are there times when it's fair to use equivalence as a measure of quality? If given the opportunity, which Gundam would you steal? Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.